welcome to today's video, and we're going to be looking at the sensing and the variable. We're going to go from the bottom up today, and we're using the ball sprite. So let's look at our username. So the username block, what it does is it lets you know what the player's username is. When they're if they're signed in and they play your game, then they'll know that you can use what their username is. For example, in multiplayer games or for the high scores and stuff. Now let's look at this one, the days since 2020 block. What the days since 2020 block does is you can click it and it'll tell you how many days it is, or you can make a sprite say that it's been 7,740 days since 2020. Now let's look at this backdrop number of stage. Also grab the timer and stuff like that. So the backdrop number of stage 1, it has a lot of options. So you can do the backdrop number of the stage or the backdrop name. You can also do the volume of the stage and the time. So and you can switch this. Well, if you had the ball, if you had another sprite, you could. So let me just click surprise sprite here. Okay, and then the stage characters 2. Right. So you can use that. So that's that, and you can click it. If you choose characters 2, we'll have a bunch of options like X position, Y position, direction, costume number, costume name, size, and volume. So you can use all those for as it's a built-in variable. So and you can use it for stuff like move motion and stuff like that. Or it can be like when the stage number is 2, then do this, do that. Then you have the timer one. The timer is a really interesting block because the timer, if I tick it, it's always running. See, it's been 3,000 seconds since I last reset the timer. Reset it now. Go all the way down to 0. And the timer, so at the beginning of the game, if you want to time somebody's game, like a speedrunning game or something like that, then what you can do is you can reset the timer at the beginning of the game. And when the game ends, let's say, time here, there's a variable called time here that I've already made. So what happens is that you reset the timer at the beginning of the game. So now the player's playing, and now he's beat the game. Good job! So you set the timer there, and now let's say he's beat the game now, done. So now this timer is still running, so you don't want to show the players that timer because they'll be confused. But when the game is over, you'll want to be like, show variable time when the game is over. And now, wait, it's all the way up there. It took them 21 seconds to beat the game. 28 seconds. You can always change this because the timer's still running always. So this will set it to the current timer. That's really all that block, the timer block. It's really useful. And then there's the loudness, which is a volume. Now watch the numbers. As I talk louder, and as I don't talk loud at all, it went down to 1. So now we have the set drag mode, draggable. Oh yeah, you guys keep on seeing this. I'll explain that in a minute. Don't worry about that. Set drag mode draggable. So for this one, what happens is that, so when you go on this project page, watch what happens. You see, I can't move any of the sprites. But you're wondering, you're saying, but you could move it on the inside when you were building it. That's because for debugging, you want to move the sprites around and stuff, right? But if you click on when flag clicked, you want to set if you set the drag mode to draggable, and then, well, there's other options are not draggable as well. Well, let's just go to C project page quickly now. And now that we're here, see the loudness is still changing there, but now if I click flag, I can move him around now. And then if you only want to be able to move him for a certain period of time, then you can be like set mode draggable, and then once something happens, set mode not draggable. But she's still undraggable because I didn't do anything for her. Now let's go back inside. So that's the okay, the flag was missing for a second. That's that block. And then we have the mouse X and the mouse Y one. The mouse Y and the mouse X are basically the coordinates of the mouse. So if we could be like a forever, if we do like a forever, if he says, oh wait, no, I need to change. So you can basically make it go forever. He could say the coordinates of the mouse. Let's say the mouse X. I need to go up here. Oh yeah, okay, say hello. There you go. Sensing. I don't know why am I going all the way. Forever. So basically, you make him forever. So you can basically make him say forever the mouse Y. Click it. -38. In 2 seconds, he's going to say a different one. 2 seconds, he's going to say -21. See? That's that block. Same thing with the mouse X. So then, if we go down here, we have the mouse down. This is a question. So to use this, you'll have to put it in an if statement. So if the mouse is down, so if the answer to this question is yes, see right now it's false, but you can't really make it say true, but like, if the mouse is down, then you can do something like say hello, right? So you can make him say hello. So basically what this does is, when I click, wait, sorry, click that. So basically what happens is that if the mouse is down, then let's start it, and if I click, then you'll say hello. So that's basically the mouse is the mouse down. Now we've got the key space pressed. That's what this is all about. So the key space pressed is another question, and if the answer to the question is yes, you gotta put in the if statement like we see here. Don't worry about these stuff, I'll explain that in a minute. So if you see, as you can see here, if the key pressed is spaced, if the key up arrow is pressed, then you do that. Or if the key up arrow is pressed, you can make him say something or do whatever you really want to do. But I want to show something what's really nice. Let me just hide her for a second because it's getting in the way. Okay. So right now, if I click forever and start that, so this will control the up and down, the up and down, and that will control the side to side. So now watch as the ball moves side to side. I'm using the when left arrow, right arrow key pressed, the one that we used in the other video. Problem is that look what it moves like. But then look what this moves like. Much smoother. So that's why that one's really useful. Well, that's all that block really has. Now let's look at the what's your name block. So it's basically just gonna ask what your name is. Click it, you'll see this box down here, and the sprite will ask what your name is. But if I do this on the stage, if I click the stage for a second here, and I click what's your name, let me just stop the code right there, and I click it, it'll say that, it'll put that like in that little box there. So go ahead and stop that. It'll ask me what my name is. Let me just take this answer box to show something. So if I click maybe, let's say just whatever, and I click enter, I can click enter to answer, or I can just write something else, and I can click the check mark. But watch what happens. Every time I change it, every time I answer a new question, that will change. And not to change the question, you just change what that is, right? But that'll change. But what if you want to save an answer and use it for later, like for a guess the number game? Then you'll have to make you have to put the answer in a variable, like set this to that, and then if I show that, right? If I do this again, I can have O as that, and I click that, and I ask what my name is, and I can write W, and then you see I can have answer and the time, and like the previous answer, I can set it to different variables as much as I want. So that's the what's your name block. So then let's look at these three. I'll come back to the distance one in a minute. These three are also questions again. And again, they go in an if statement. So if this color is touching this color, how do you use it? What you really do is just click that, and you see that, you'd be like, okay, if this color is choosing this color. But to demonstrate this, I'll need to make her visible again. So now, if I say this is a pick color tool. If I say his color is touching this color maybe, then do what? Same thing for this one, but it's just touching. Are you touching? This is if this color is touching this color, but this is just if the sprite is touching this color. Again, you got the pick color tool. And then you have the touching mouse pointer. Mouse pointer, it's another question, and if the answer is yes, then it'll do something in an if statement. Then you have the edge and the characters, and the character too, like that other sprite. So that's those ones, and there's two more blocks I missed. So we have the distance to mouse pointer one. So basically what this one does is it'll say distance to mouse pointer and the distance to the other character. Click it. If I choose the other character, click it, say 69 point whatever, that random guess. Put it here, it's gonna get farther. 166. Right? So that's that one. And then if we go down here, then we can add the current year. I forgot to talk about this one. Very useful one. You can look here. You probably already saw this ages ago, but the year is 2021, The month is the third month of the year, that means March. Date is 11th. Day of the week is Thursday. The hour is the 13th hour. That means it's 1 o'clock. 1:22, and that's the seconds. This is just the loudness variable. Let me just get rid of that because it's distracting me now. So, and the current year, and you can do stuff with it. You can like use that. It's another built-in variable. But the problem is that to use this, it's really annoying. Let's say I want to get rid of the year. You see, it says that the year is unticked, but the year is there. How to tick it and untick it. Now it'll be gone. Choose month. Gotta do the same thing again and again. And if you want to put one of them back, then you just gotta tick it. And if you want to do like another one, like the minute, then you gotta untick it and tick it back. We don't want it, so let's just untick both these. So that's really that one. And let's look at the variables. We have the time. This is just the variable as like a variable block, so you can do stuff with it, like make him save the variable, compare the variable, stuff like that. Then we have to set the variables. You can set the variable to something like, example, click it, or I can put another variable in here. Set this variable to another variable. I can change the variable by 1. So like if this was a score variable, then every time he scored, change it by 1. You see there? But if I want to reduce it, like every time he dies, he loses, like if these were the lives variable, he loses 1. See, now it's going down. Right? And then there's the show and hide variable. So like, let's say that you want to show a variable and you want to hide a variable, like at some point in the game at the beginning of the game you want to hide it, but at some point you want to show it. Voila, there you go. And you have the make a variable one, which is, you can name it here, whatever you want to name it. Like let's say like score or something. I spelled that wrong. And like you can choose if it's for this sprite only or for all sprites. And you have the cloud variable button here. This basically means that it's on a server. So for like high scores and stuff, like if the high score is 100 on your game, then anywhere, whenever you load in the game, the variable will always be 100 unless somebody beats the high score. That's that one. So now let's get making a game. So for this game, let's think of kind of something like a maze. So let's just get rid of the blocks we don't need on the screen up here. We don't need that, and we don't need the time. So, and we don't need this character. Sorry. Bye-bye. We'll use the ball for the maze. So, then we gotta get rid of that. Okay. So, now let's look at now let's paint the background first. So, basically, here's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, we just knew that. Let's go to so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna make paint like a background. I'll paint it and I'll be back in a minute. So this, you see the backdrop here that I've painted now. What happens, let's say the ball's gonna start here. I meant to go to the backdrop, thank you very much, not the ball. So what's gonna happen here is that the ball will just go, right? So basically the maze is if the ball is touching these colors, you don't have to come all the way back here. If he touches this blue color, he'll win, but he gets sent back here. We're only making one level today, but you guys can make as many levels as you want. And like when he comes here, you can change the background to the next one, and then and the next background will be like that one, and then you can send him back to the start point, and you can continue again and again and again. And then like let's say you made 5 levels, at the end when he's reached the 5th background, when he beats you say you won or whatever. So basically what we're gonna do here is, let's go back to the ball here for a minute. So what we're gonna do is, you'll see. So when the flag is clicked, let's say, when the flag is clicked, then we want to move him. So basically we're gonna get some moving in. The moving is basically the same thing that you've seen earlier. So I'll do that and be back in a minute. So here is the moving area. So let me explain what it does. Obviously you have to explain it. So when we start the flag clicked, it's gonna repeat whatever's inside this loop forever, okay? That's the first part. So if the up arrow key is pressed, it's going to change Y direction by 10. I'm basically going to do that vice versa for the down arrow. It's going to move him down by changing the Y by -10. Left arrow is going to move him. Let me click the flag button, sorry. See, it's going to move him. Let me have to get rid of these ones first because they're really bothersome here. So you can move him here, and you can move him up and down. And if you're wondering more about the coordinates, check out our other video about the motion and events blocks. Wait, I don't need the background. So back I mean. So then we've got the left arrow and the right arrow, move him, change the X direction. So if this is a maze though, we have to make sure that he has to go like that, and go like that, and go like that. problem is, he can just move through the walls. Let's deal with the walls right now first. First though, at the beginning of the game, we want him to spawn, we want to come here, okay? And so, we just gotta go to the motion, and we gotta send him all the way here. Go to. Let's just stop the code for a minute once we plug this ad in. Okay. So what we have to do is, if, we need another if statement. And inside of that if statement, we need to put the is he touching the color question. It's going to ask the question. And if the answer to the question is yes, then we'll send him all the way back right here. And the question is going to be touching color. And to choose the color, like always, we just got to do that, and we choose that color. So if it, I'm just going to ask this question as well. If he is touching this color, this green color, then we got to send him all the way back to the beginning. Where is that now? Yeah. We got to send him all the way back to square one. And he has to start all the way around again. So now we got that part ready. So if we try it out now, he can't, if he touches the green, he has to go all the way back here. See? And then he has to go here, and then he has to somehow make it through here. This, oh, okay, see how close he's. Right now, you see when he touches the blue, nothing's happening. That's the finish line. Nothing's happening. Okay? So, to do that, we need another one of these little if statements. I'm just going to duplicate that. If he's touching the color, but not green though, he's touching the blue color, then we need to send him back here for him to reattempt the level and beat his time. We're going to add the time later. But like, you have to make him know that he's won. Or else he'd be like, did I accidentally touch the green there? Why am I back here, right? So, gotta add that. You won. Okay. Now let's work on the time, because now we've got the game ready. Watch. So he'll move up, move left, come. You know what? Let me just to show you that this works. Don't tell anybody. You won. And then after 2 seconds, we'll send him back. 2 seconds might be a bit long, so let's just make it 1. So then what we need here is we need to make it so that we need to make the time. So the time, we need to reset the timer at the beginning of the game, obviously. And we need to show him this variable, not the other variable, because that will always be running. And once he's won, he'll be wondering what's happening. Put that at the top in the top corner. And then what we need to do is we need to set the time to 0 at the beginning of the game, obviously. When the game ends, we need to set the time to timer, obviously, as well. Problem is that we need to set this up here, because if you put it down there, then it'll do that, and then set the time. But he'll still be losing 1 second in that area, 1 second or more. So the moment he finishes that, so now this is basically it, the game for the second game for today's video. Let's just try to beat it legitimately one time. Yeah, no, this works. You know what? This is good too, you know? He reads it, and he did it in 8 seconds and 352 seconds. 8.325. That's the milliseconds. Well, see you. That's all for this video. Bye.